On October 1st, 2012, the quiet town of Machynlleth in Powys was forever changed. A 5-year-old girl named April Jones was last seen playing near her home. What followed was an extensive search, one of the largest in British police history, and a community united in grief. In this video, we delve into the tragic events surrounding April Jones and uncover the heartbreaking truth. For Coral and Paul Jones, that day began like any other. It was a Monday, a school day, and their routine unfolded as usual. Paul roused the children from bed, prepared breakfast, and sent them off to school. The family lived in Machynlleth, Wales, alongside their 3 children, Jasmine, Harley, and April. April, the youngest at just 5 years old, finished her school day and headed to the local leisure center for her weekly swimming lesson. Afterwards, she returned home, accompanied by a friend. Paul served them spaghetti and toast before they ventured out again on their bicycles. Machynlleth fostered a close-knit community where neighbors knew each other well. Children played freely in the streets, and safety seemed assured. April loved spending time with her friends, and life felt idyllic. However, tragedy struck when Coral asked Harley, her son, to call April home. Within minutes, Harley returned home in a state of panic, screaming, "She's been taken!" Coral learned that April had vanished. One of April's friends had witnessed her getting into a car with a man. Coral immediately contacted the police, her voice trembling as she reported April missing. The news spread rapidly throughout the town. Within moments, everyone was searching for April. Neighbors, police, and news stations alike. From the outset, it was clear that this was no ordinary case of a child wandering off or accepting a ride from a familiar face. The sinister truth loomed larger. April Jones had been abducted, and the community rallied to find her. Following April's friend's account, the police honed in on crucial information. The 7-year-old girl revealed that April had entered a car but emphasized that she got in the wrong side. This detail led investigators to believe the vehicle must have been left-hand drive, a rarity in the area. Locals could only think of one man who drove such a car, 46-year-old Mark Bridger. Born in Surrey and the son of a police officer, Mark had lived in London before relocating to Wales, where he settled in Serene. His life took a dark turn when he was arrested the day after April's disappearance. As police peeled back the layers of his deception, Mark confessed that April had been in his car. According to him, he accidentally struck her and placed her in the vehicle to take her to the hospital. But this explanation didn't add up. If it was an accident, where was April now? Mark couldn't provide an answer, blaming his alcohol consumption for the memory lapse. Indeed, Mark's drinking had escalated, up to 25 cans of cider a day, around the time April vanished. Desperate to locate April, the police pieced together Mark's details in hopes of finding her alive. At 8:30 p.m. that night, a witness spotted Mark pulling into his driveway, leaving approximately 60 unaccounted minutes. Despite their efforts, there was no trace of April. 3 witnesses reported seeing Mark with a black bin bag in a field near his home the morning after April's abduction. He was also observed near the river. The search for April became the largest missing person operation in UK history. Inside Mark's home, a chilling revelation awaited investigators. As they combed through the cottage, they stumbled upon a horrifying scene. Despite attempts to clean up, traces of April's blood were discovered near the fireplace, in the bathroom, and close to the washing machine. Bone fragments and skull pieces were also found within the fireplace. The presence of several specialized knives further alarmed the authorities. Their conviction grew. Mark had killed April. Now, they needed to unravel the why and where. It was an outcome no one desired. The harrowing pain of April's abduction persisted. Not only was it evident that April had lost her life, but the grim reality emerged. Her body might never be recovered. Mark had meticulously disposed of her remains to ensure they would remain hidden forever. Some parts were incinerated in the wood burner at his cottage, while others were scattered across the countryside. While the location of April's body remained a mystery, there was no ambiguity about the motive behind her abduction. In the days leading up to the tragedy, Mark's internet searches included images of Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman, two young girls murdered in Soham. He also sought details about Caroline Dickinson, a schoolgirl raped and killed during a trip to France. His disturbing queries extended to topics like puberty and naked young 5-year-old. The darkness within Mark Bridger had consumed innocent lives. In summary, authorities discovered 300 horrifying images of child sexual abuse on his laptop, leading them to believe that he had viewed them on the same day he abducted April. The abduction itself was driven by sexual motives. April's remains were never fully recovered. Her parents could only bury 17 fragments. Mark faced charges of murder, abduction, and perverting the course of justice. During the trial, Mark maintained that he accidentally struck April with his Land Rover Discovery and then placed her in the car to take her to the hospital. However, there was no evidence to support this claim. Neither his car nor April's bicycle showed any signs of a collision. Adding to the heartbreak of April's parents, Mark consistently referred to her as Little April during the proceedings. This was particularly devastating, considering Mark's imposing height of 6 feet 2 inches, while April was a petite 5-year-old girl. When questioned about the disturbing Google searches related to naked young 5-year-old, Mark asserted that he was merely trying to understand his own children's sexual development. However, the jury found his explanations increasingly feeble, ultimately taking just 4 hours and 6 minutes to find him guilty on all counts. The presiding judge, Mr. Justice Griffith Williams, left no doubt in his assessment. Mark was a pedophile who harbored morbid fantasies about young girls. His laptop contained not only images of prepubescent and pubescent girls, but also vile pornography depicting the gross sexual abuse of young children. Mark received a life sentence with no possibility of parole, ensuring that he will spend the rest of his days behind bars. While he took April's life and shattered her family's world, the love for April endures within the community. If you found this information insightful, consider liking and sharing our video. Your support makes a difference. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next installment.